When I was younger, I would avoid long term goals like the plague, where it just felt that no matter the long term goal that I saw, I never really wanted to do it. And I think that primarily came down to the fact that I just didn't want to let myself down. I didn't want to face that long term goal and fail to hit it and be reaffirmed that I knew I couldn't do it. And I think a lot of guys, especially around my age, can feel this as well, where we want to reach this, higher goal, but it just feels like there's so much stuff in the way. It feels like that gap between where you are and where you want to be just gets further and further every single day. And honestly, I still experience this from time to time, where I have the goals of, trying to do better on YouTube, trying to reach more people. With my AI game development I'm doing, I'm wanting to develop better games. I'm wanting to hope that that's stuff people enjoy. But they're all long term goals. And I think one of the main reasons why I just kept trying to avoid them or just kept perhaps even failing them is just because it sounded nice, but perhaps it wasn't really ideal for me, or just perhaps it sounded nice, but it didn't feel as actionable. I didn't create clear steps in my mind for doing it. So to give you a story, back in June of this year, 2025, I came up with a random thought of making video games using AI, using ChatGPT more specifically, where I'd get ChatGPT to write all the code for me, and I would then figure out Unity and try and create the scripts, and I'd also get it to make me the images and the videos for the game as well. And I had no guide on that. I would simply just like throw myself into it. And, through doing that, after 300 hours of game development, I was able to make my first demo, and I'm aiming to get my first full game out by the end of this year. The point being is, yeah, sure, the long term goal, I guess, really for me, and still is to, have multiple games that are going to make me money over a lifetime. But in terms of actionable wise, I could have sat there for ages. I could have sat there for ages trying to map everything out, plan everything out, try and see everything on the timeline. Right at this point, I'm gonna, do this, and I'm gonna make this amount of money, but it just made no sense to me. And in that moment, I realized I just need to throw myself into that. I just need to throw myself in, and I didn't know what I was doing. And to this day, I'm still winging it, right? And to to the point where I was taking screenshots of like the actual Unity dashboard saying, you've said create this empty great game object. Where do I do that? Like I had no idea what I was doing. But I think I was just learning through those bits of action. And so I think really if you have a long-term goal, try and take action whatever it is. If it's something on YouTube, just record videos. Like in my early process, I literally had a video go out every single day for about 2 months straight because I just wanted consistency, right? But just record the video or just do the thing, but try and do it in just those shorter blocks. Try not to worry so much about that long-term goal, because I think the more you worry and stress about that long-term goal, the further and further it feels away. And that feels very demotivating and can really kill your drive to doing it. And also just try and enjoy the process. And I'm sure you've heard that plenty of times, and it's annoying sometimes when you hear it. But genuinely, like if you don't enjoy what you're doing now, you're probably not really going to enjoy it when you're doing it later. And so that's why, like, at least on this channel, I really do push for trying to find that meaningful thing to you and working on that as well. So, like, what I would recommend is if you're trying to work on a long-term goal, whether it be fitness, whether it be, financial or whatever it is, I think try and take action, but make it incredibly small. Small enough that you can build consistency, whether that's every day or every other day or something, but just keep trying to do that because that's really helped me. And definitely opened up a lot more opportunity than let me realize that, oh, if I do this, I can build up. Now, sure, eventually you'll probably want to plan a bit more. You'll probably want to look at things in a bit more detail. But I think in the early stages, just start doing stuff. And you're going to learn far more from taking action than trying to procrastinate and worry a lot more.